Hey, what's going on, world? Thank you for tuning in to Impressive Divinity 888. You already know I'm here to bring you that guided motivational message. It's going to get you through the day. All right, so with that being said, y'all, let's go ahead and let's jump in to your reading. All right, let's see what you need to know, There may be things that you're putting on the back burner that you keep forgetting about. There could be things going on behind the scenes that you don't know about. All right. It could be things that you know about, but you act like you don't know about, but you do know about, but you just act like you don't know about because you don't want to deal with them. All right. You got spy out here first. All right. So could be talking about a secret. Could be talking about an actual spy. We could be talking about somebody that's watching. You got educator, then you got player. I seen that was sneaking out. So it could be something that's undercover. Maybe you have some type of undercover mentor. Maybe you are an undercover mentor, an undercover teacher, an undercover guide. You got magician that came out here. I know you got spy and you got magician. I mean, you could be an undercover magician. I'm just saying, or we could be talking about an elder or somebody that maybe you looked up to as a mentor, somebody that did mentor you. In that case, maybe they're actually watching and either channeling power, using magic, manifesting, or even trying to cast some type of illusion. Bottom of the deck here, Knight. So it's almost like there's somebody that, what I'm getting so far is that there was somebody that maybe you trusted at some point in time, and you felt like they were loyal, or you felt like they were there for you, they were ratting for you, but maybe right now that's not the case. They're watching and I don't know, because I don't think that this is you. I'm not getting the vibes that you're this spy and this magician. All right, you got lost soul out here. Seeker of clarity, wanderer, confusion, defeat, struggle. So it could be a couple different things. It's either like somebody's watching because maybe they did some type of magic for you to be a lost soul, and they're waiting to see the results, or somebody's watching because they're trying to do some type of magic to have you be some type of lost soul, or for you to feel defeated, or for you to struggle. Bottom of the deck here, Knight again. Maybe somebody wants you confused. Yeah, because think about it. Loyalty's out here again. Somebody wants you to be confused, or somebody that you looked up to, some type of mentor, somebody that taught you something, some type of trainer. I'm trying to think of all the words that was on the bottom of that card. But there's somebody that you worked with, you looked up to. It was something like that. But I'm not too sure what happened. But for some reason, it's almost like this person they want you to think that they're loyal, but in actuality, they are the one that has been casting illusions and maybe trying to put you in the area of struggling. I don't know if this person is I don't know, they have to be a magician because it's a magician. I don't think that this is you, but it's either, I don't know if somebody wanted you in this energy. Look at that. I should have looked at it. It took so long. Or that's what they're trying to do, is put you into this energy. You got to set it. Yeah, they don't want you to be disciplined. All right, or it's the fact that you are disciplined. Look at the educator back out here again. Maybe it's the fact that you are disciplined because you learned a thing or two. All right, and now you're being guided to open your eyes to some type of way about this mentor, this teacher. All right, let's get something else here. Whoa, you got guide and you have ninja that came out here. Guide out here again. So maybe you're in the process of mastering self. You could be mastering self when it comes to disciplining yourself, mastering yourself when it comes to abstinence. Or maybe that's something that's going to help. I don't know. Let's get something else here. I try to put it back in there. You see that? Clown. So you got to put on some type of performance. Or were they putting on a performance for somebody else? Maybe that's why you're being asked to... Let me get something else here. What's on the bottom of the deck? Mother. Nurturer. Selfless love. It's almost like there was somebody out here, right? Look, I was trying to see what that was. Traveler and Butcher. It's almost like there was somebody that this person, I don't know, this person felt some type of way about something, and all right, so it's almost like this person think it's funny. They think that it's funny to spy on you. They think that it's funny to cast illusions, or to, you know, do black magic or some type of magic over you, to have you feeling defeated, have you feeling lost, have you being confused or feeling confused, being alone, you know, have you not being in control of self, you know. And it's almost like somebody thinks that that's funny. You got painter here on the bottom of the deck, so it's like somebody's trying to paint a picture that you're this way and that way, but in actuality they casted some type of spell or some type of something to put you in that energy. Does that make sense? You know what I mean? Because it's almost like they're out here and they're telling other people, hey, they're this, they're that, and they're laughing at you, you know, but at the same time, they are actually the person that caused you to be in whatever this is right now. All right? Avenger. Exactly. They have been plotting. This is something they have either been watching you, all right, or I don't know, they just have some type of hatred for you in some type of way, or they want other people to have some type of hatred towards you. You know, but it's kind of messed up when you think about it, because it was a mentor. So either this is somebody, a mentor that you used to work with, you know, or some type of teacher, because maybe this is, you could be that you have a hatred for this person, or I kind of think that it's this person that just has some type of hatred for you. Maybe you walked away from them. All right. So maybe that's what's going on now. You walked away from them because maybe you got, I don't know, a gut instinct, a feeling that just something wasn't right. All right. And now they're out here doing all that. Look at this. You got genius in reverse. All right. So they're not as smart as they thought that they were, because you see something, and maybe, I don't know, their true colors are showing, because the fact that you're able to see it, you know, fireman. All right. The fact that you're able to see it, the fact that you, through this entire situation, you know, you stood 10 toes down. You know, you stood up for what you believed in. You didn't give up, you know. But I don't know. I think that somebody thinks it's funny because, like I said, they're out here doing things they shouldn't be doing. And they think that it's hilarious for them to try to extinguish your fire, trying to like put out your fire, put out your flame, you know, make you maybe not feel confident, maybe make you not feel like you're a go-getter, or like you can get things done, or certain things are meant for you, or, you know, it's like they're bringing so much negativity in your life. That's why I say it doesn't always have to just be a full-blown magician or somebody that just does magic. Just somebody saying negative things could be, you know, a way that they're putting out this negative energy into the universe. You get what I mean? So it's like, I don't know, I just think that somebody's trying to extinguish your fire, put out your flame, and they think that it's hilarious. You know, they're out here painting this picture to other people, you're this and you're that, but in actuality, they put you in this and they put you in that. You got magician and you have lost soul out here. You get what I mean? And we've seen that educator card twice. So there was somebody that you worked with, somebody that you looked up to, somebody that mentored you, was somebody on those lines. They did something and they put you in this energy because they wanted to, I'm not going to say rule you, but they wanted to kind of like take over or be in control, you know, because they thought it was funny, you know. But now you're stepping up because you see them for what they are. You get what I mean? Bottom of the deck here, you got swindler. That's like, you see them as a swindler. You see them as somebody that's hiding behind a mask. It's the second time we're seeing mask on here. Well, I made that up because it's not on here, but he's wearing a mask. All right. But yeah, they wanted to take something from you, or that's just how you look at them. Like, you know what I mean? Like they can't be trusted. You know, they're not a mentor. They're not real. They're not who they say that they are. They portray to all these other people that they're this and they're that, but in actuality, they're the total opposite. You know, they're not somebody that's out here to guide people and help people. They're actually out here hurting people, you know, causing people to be in this type of energy, all because they like control. You know, you have people out here that like to manipulate the minds of other people. And I kind of think maybe it was like something on those lines. Maybe somebody tried to mentally manipulate you because of a situation. Maybe you were vulnerable. Maybe, I don't know what it was, but you were in a situation and somebody took advantage of that. You know, they came off, oh, I'm here to help you. I want to help you. You know, when they were helping themselves and hurting you. You know, so now they're standing back and they're laughing at you in your situation, you know, because you thought that you could put your trust into this mentor, this helper. In actuality, this mentor, this helper was doing everything for you to not be able to move forward. You know, like, it's just messed up when you really look at it, because, you know, they really thought it was a joke, and it was somebody, I don't know, I feel like that you trusted. This is somebody that you looked up to. All right? You got civil servant, you also have father out here. So this could be somebody that, like I said, that you looked up to. It's somebody that, you know, has a very important impact when it comes to civilization, you know, or when it just comes to family, you know? So I don't know. Like I said, I do think this is somebody that you looked up to. Bottom of the deck here, betrayal. All right? Somebody broke that bond. They betrayed you. All right? But let's get something else here. I feel like a couple of them was going to come out. Spiritual seeker. All right? You seen something. Something open your eyes. Get a little closer on that card. Something open your eyes. All right, and you seen something. There was some type of insight that could have been given to you, or just something that, I don't know, maybe by you taking time, maybe by you meditating, you know, maybe by you being devoted to your inner path, you were able to see this person for who they were. You know, the whole time they're still hiding behind a mask. And I kind of think it was one of them things where you were like in between, like, you know, look at that portrayal again on the bottom of the deck. But I kind of think it was like one of them things where you're in between and you were like, you know what, I feel like, you know, my energy's off a bit, but at the same time, you know, this is my mentor. Like, why would they do that? No, you know what I mean? And it's messed up, but that's like kind of the vibes that I'm getting. You know, there's something that you seen, something you felt, something you heard. It was something. All right, but let's get something else here with spiritual seeker. All right, you got stranger. You also have reader. I mean, that right there. Spiritual seeker, stranger, reader. So you were seeking you were, how can I say it? All right. So it's almost like, put this deck down. So it's almost like you were seeking your spirituality, like, right? You were going in, how do you say it? You were headed in your spiritual path, right? So maybe you came across some type of reader. Of course, it's a stranger because you came across them, right? You came across some type of stranger that was a reader, you know, that put it out here like they have all the knowledge that can help you grow as a person, you know, and they even gave that type of energy that they were here to help. You know, but at the end of the day, this is still a complete stranger. This is still somebody that you don't know. You know, so whether you were somebody, let's say you were getting readings, tarot readings, you know, I don't know if you were paying for them. I don't see anything that, you know, so far that shows it. But, you know, it could be that, I don't know, you were on, let's just use another, because I really don't want to say it because I don't want to, I don't want to make it seem like one thing, but I'm getting the vibes that, I don't know, that there was somebody that you looked up to, and it could have been a reader of some sort, all right? And this person seems as if they were devoted to their path of helping people, but in actuality, their path is to cast illusions and hurt people. You know, so I kind of think it's like one of them things where you have to be cautious when it comes to the knowledge that you do seek and where you seek it from. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. Like, even me, for example, you know, I'm on here and I'm giving you guys readings, you know, but it's like I'm still a complete stranger. Yes, we can get to know each other, you know, but at the same time, I'm still a complete stranger. You get what I mean? But it's like somebody took advantage of you in a vulnerable state or a vulnerable situation, you know, and they, I don't know, sent magic, casted illusions. It's almost like somebody like tried to mentally manipulate you because of the situation that you were in. You know, and this person is held in high regard. Remember, you've seen King. People look up to this person. You know, they believe in this person, but this person is actually out here hurting people. You know, and you ever hear the thing that's like people do things so that you can keep coming back and keep coming back for more, or, you know what I mean? So it's almost like you were paying for a service. I'm going to use it as an example, but it's almost like you were paying for a service and this person was actually casting the illusions or sending certain things your way that's going to make you keep having to pay for their services. You get what I mean? Like, for example, let's say, let's say something in your house. Let's say your refrigerator, right? Let's say you're having issues with your refrigerator. So somebody, or say a washer. Somebody comes over and they fix the piece on your washer and like, hey, it's going to work. But they only did it enough so that you would have to call them back again. They know it's not fixed forever. They know it's not fixed for good. They know it's a temporary fix. All right. But they also know with this temporary fix, they know that you are going to have to call them back to come there again or come fix it again. That's kind of like the vibes that I'm getting. You know, somebody kept throwing some type of illusion, some type of magic, some type of something your way because they seen that there was an issue or there was, I don't know, something that you were stuck in, you know, and they kept throwing things your way because they're like, well, they're going to come to me and they're going to pay for it. Then I'm going to keep casting an illusion, making them think that they're going through something. You feel me? Like, that's the best way. And I don't know if you were like paying an actual reader, you know, or if it was just maybe somebody that you were going to, could have been a therapist, anybody, you know, but there was somebody that was actually doing the total opposite of what they said that they do, or they do the total opposite of what they say that they do. Bottom of the deck here, painter. Look at that. Painter. I didn't even know that that was down there. All right. Once again, this person, they paint pictures that they help people, you know, but in actuality, they're not out here helping people. And I don't know who this is. All right. Let me get something else here with spiritual seeker. Father, could be a male. Could be somebody in your family. Could be somebody you thought was family. Could be your father. All right. Or it could just be somebody that's just, I don't know. I kind of think it's like somebody that you looked up to. It could be a male, you know, but at the same time, I just think that it's somebody that you looked up to. Maybe you looked up to this person as a dad, you know what I mean, or as a father. Maybe you just looked up to this person for their mentorship, for their spiritual guidance, you know, and it's pretty messed up because this person was actually, they weren't helping. Civil servant. So this is somebody that is out here in the public. I don't know, like I said, reader kept coming to mind, so I don't know if I'm talking about a reader, you know, or if it's just somebody that has extensive knowledge in certain situations. Look at that civil servant, and it like slid up my arm. I don't know if y'all seen that. All right. But I don't know, maybe you're somebody, or this is you. Maybe you're somebody and you speak in front of the public and somebody wanted you to look like a lost soul. Somebody wanted you to look like you didn't know what you were talking about. All right. Or they wanted you to look confused while you were doing your job or speaking in front of the public, or I don't know, whatever you do, somebody wanted you to look confused, like you didn't know what you're talking about, you don't know what you're doing, or like you're struggling. All right. Gambler here on the bottom of the deck. All right. Risk taker of fate, debt, fortune, speculation, addiction. All right. So yeah, I think that it's a mixture of them wanting you to look confused, as well as, you know, like you have addictions, or like you're in debt, you know, because you had debt, you got struggles. Maybe it was something that was like something that was against your finances. They wanted you to look like you were broke. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what it is. I just know that there was something that somebody was throwing your way, and they wanted you to look like you were doing down bad, you know, and they're sitting here talking to other people, they're talking about you, they're laughing at you, you know, but at the same time, they were the ones that were actually out here putting out that negative energy, and you were going to them for help. Does that make sense? Like, that's pretty messed up when you really look at it. And I don't know you, and I don't know your situation, and I'm deeply sorry that you even have to go through this. All right. But it's like, at the same time, you have to know what's going on. All right. I don't know if you still talk to this person. I don't know if this person is still in your life. I don't know if you're still being mentored or still being taught new things by this person. But whatever the case is, this person is not here for you. All right. Let me get something else here with aesthetic. Homeless. They're not here for you. They're not. They want you to be alone. They want it to pretty much, they wanted you to be like this. Homeless, unemployed, by yourself, hungry, bankrupt. So yeah, it did have a lot to do with your finances. I think that somebody could have been casting illusions on your finances. That's pretty messed up. So like I said, I don't know if you were paying this person or if this was just something that they were doing, you know, because people do things like that. you know, oh, look at this person, da 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 da, they're down bad, or this or that. But in actuality, this person was actually out here putting this energy, this negative energy, throwing it towards you. Doing kitchen magic, doing whatever type of magic they were doing. All right? This is how they wanted you. Do you get my drift here? Like, somebody was really out here trying to have you down bad, or trying to have you look down bad, or that's what's going on right now. All right, and they're sitting here laughing, kikiing with their friends, sitting back, talking about you, you know, like, look at her, look at him, da 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 da, you know. But in actuality, they're the ones that put you in a situation. They're the reason why you're here. Bottom of the deck here, you got doctor. All right. And I just think that's the diagnosis. I mean, I don't necessarily think it has anything to do with healing, or maybe that's what you're doing now. You're healing from this, or you need to heal. But I think that's what it comes down to. All right. Underneath that, revolutionist. That's exactly what it comes down to. It comes down to you healing from this situation. Maybe you had to hear this message in order to heal from the situation, in order to walk away from the situation, in order to speak up about this situation. Maybe there are other people that are going through the same exact thing as you right now, and they don't even know it. Why? Because they're not on their spiritual path. Why? Because they're not awakened. You know, something awakened you, and something gave you that nudge, like something ain't right. That ain't it. You know? Underneath that, elder. Once again. All right, so I don't know. Somebody has been doing this. And they've been working with other people. Cooperation. All right, or maybe you've been cooperating with them because you didn't know what it was. You had no clue. They tell you one thing and they tell you one thing and they're doing another. Like they tell you, oh, I'm doing this because of this. In actuality, they're doing that because of that. You know what I mean? It was kind of like one of those things. All right, let me get something else here with homeless. You got dancer. All right. So they're making moves in some type of way. They're making moves in some type of way to make it, how can I say it? They're trying to make moves in some type of way to make it seem as if, or that's what they have done, to make it seem as if it's not them, or they're not the ones that's clowning you. They're not the ones that's laughing. They're not the ones that's been doing this to you. You know, and if that's not the case, then maybe it's just them making moves to put on performances for them other people that they're painting those pictures for. Bottom of the deck here, gambler, again. Yeah, so they're speculating what? They're speculating that this is the energy that you're going to remain in. This is the energy that you're in, or I don't know. They're speculating that you're not going to be brave, possibly. You know, that you're not going to realize that it's them. That you're not going to stand up to them. That you're not going to rescue yourself. That you're going to be in debt. You're not going to go after your fortune and your goals. You're going to have addictions. You get what I mean? Like, that's like the kind of stuff that they were putting out here. And that's what they're saying. I don't know who those other people are. Not that it matters. You know what I mean? Because somebody's always going to have something to say, whether you're doing bad or whether you're doing good. All right. But at the end of the day, whoever this person is that you were looking up to, they need to be cut. I'm just saying, I don't know who this is, who you were working with, but only you know. I'm not telling you to go around to every single mentor you got. You're doing this. No, if this message is for you, then you know this message is for you. All right. But somebody needs to be checked. All right. Let's go ahead and get you another one here. What else do we need to know about this dancer or weaving? Creator. Weaver of imagination, creativity, innovation, invention, realization. You gotta be brave, baby. You gotta be creative. I think this is something that somebody is still doing to this day. All right? Or maybe they think they're still doing it, but I don't know. I kind of think that this is something that somebody's still doing to this day. And I feel like this is something where you have to be brave. You have to be creative. You have to really think outside of the box. All right. And you have to use your imagination, and you have to believe in the unbelievable. That is the best way I can say it. You know, some people here they remain asleep. All right. And when you remain asleep, things like this continue to happen every single day. You know, you think you just going through the walks of life. You know, you just going through it. No, this is somebody actually doing this to you. You know, please be open to just being open-minded to understanding that, you know, we live in a very big world out here. You know, and everybody isn't who that they say that they are. All right. Bottom of the deck here, painter. Exactly. I'm just saying, as cards out here again. Everybody is not who that they say that they are. Some people paint a picture to make themselves look one way, but in actuality, they are the complete opposite. You know, somebody could sit here and say, oh, I'm an angel. In actuality, they're a devil. You get what I mean? It's like that type of energy going on here. I feel like in the daytime, they're smiling, they're uplifting. You know, they could even have the smile and the personality. You would never think in a million years this person will do this to you, or this person is doing this to anybody. But in actuality, I don't know, by you being spiritually awakened, you were able to see this person for who they are. You're able to see this person for what they're doing, or, you know, just who they are. That's the best way I can say it. They're a clown. All right. The fact that you have to put any type of energy behind anything to make anyone be in this energy, especially if this is somebody that looked up to you, is terrible. You know, and you begin to, I don't know, you begin to wonder certain things, but I kind of feel like at the end of the day, you know, I always say we all have to go through certain things for a reason. All right. So maybe there was some reason that you had to go through this. Maybe it was telling you to maybe not be so trustworthy when it comes to other people, especially when it comes to strangers or readers. You get what I'm saying? I don't know why those two cards keep coming back in, but the fact that those two came out, I feel like it could be somebody that, you know, you could have been going to for readings, you know? So just be mindful, you know, when it comes to, you know, readings, because energy is energy, and that's kind of what it is. You know, maybe you weren't even going to this person. I'm going to just use a reader as an example, but maybe you weren't even going to this person for, you know, personal readings. Maybe you were just chiming in, you know, here and there, but energy is energy, you know, and if somebody felt like, you know, even, I mean, I don't know, there's so many ways, I guess, what I'm trying to say without saying it, but to say it. You know, but I just feel like you just got to be careful the people you watch, the things that you buy. You know, you have to be open-minded to a lot of things, because a lot of people are connected and you don't even know these people be out here connected. You know, so definitely just be open-minded and understand that, you know, we in 2025, y'all, anything's possible. You can't always believe everything that you see, you know. Let's go ahead and get you a word or two to see if there's anything else you may need to know. Speak up. Speak up. Speak up. What are you not saying that's eating you up inside? You can't keep this in forever. It's time to let it out so you can move on and be happy. All right. I feel like this is something that you did. You found out, you know, and you could no longer hold it in. Or this is something that you are finding out, and this is something that you want to speak up about. Or I don't know. It's like you want to confront this person. Bottom of the deck here, fresh start. I feel like once you do speak up, I'm not saying go out here and confront like, yo, you were doing this. I'm not saying that. You know, it could just be saying it out loud like, I knew better than that. You know what I mean? And to move on from the situation. You know, to go into this energy of having this fresh start. You're being given an opportunity to begin again. Allow yourself to embrace this new life and open up fully to this gift that you've been given. All right? So it could be, like I said, it could be one or two things. It could be that you're speaking up and you're telling your story, you know, or it could just be that, you know, you had to learn this life lesson so that you don't go through something like this again. You know, if you feel something off, if you see red flags, if something, just make sure, I don't know, it's like your body shows you signs. If you receive certain signs about a person, place, or thing, you know, be mindful to that. All right, speak up. May not be always speaking to the next person. It could just be speaking up to yourself. Hey, you know something ain't right. Let's just, yeah. You feel me? All right, but you got to speak up. And you also got fresh start. All right, so you're going to get out of the situation. You're going to get away from this person, you know. But like I said, I just really think it's one of them things where you had to go through this because maybe, I don't know, there are other people that are going through it and maybe you can help them out of this situation, you know, or it could be that, you know, by you speaking up, maybe the illusions or the whatever magic they're sending may not be sent for the fact that you're awakened and you're speaking up about it. I don't know. Could go a couple different ways. All right. But let's go ahead and get your message here from your spirit guides to end out your reading. All right. Let's see what your spirit guides have to say today. What areas of your life are you avoiding? Are they causing you upset, worry, disrupted sleep? If so, these are the areas you need to focus on. As much as you don't want to, it is necessary. Tackle your demons head on and don't allow them to rule you a second longer. All right. So if you have been avoiding this situation, if you have been really paying attention to, how your body reacts to certain people or in certain situations or in certain environments, whether it causes you anxiety, whether it causes you disrupted sleep, whether it causes you to worry or even be upset, those are the areas that you keep putting on the back burner. Those are the feelings that you keep putting on the back burner. Whatever this thing is, I don't know what this is, who you are, who this is, whatever this is taking a lot of your energy. All right. And this has caused you to worry more than anything. You get what I mean? So it's like sometimes you have to walk away from certain people, places, and things just to realize that you were right all along. Bottom of the deck here. Make sure you don't start seeing yourself through the eyes of those who don't value you. You need to know your worth, even when others don't. You are not what people think of you, and you're not. This person thought you were a gump. That's what I can say. This person thought that you were a gump. They did not think that you were smart enough to even be able to notice that they were even doing anything like this to you. They thought they could probably do this forever. And you would continue to pay them. You would continue to love them. You would continue to look up to them, whatever the case is. But it's been going on for so long. This person got so comfortable being able to do this to you. But I don't know. At some given time, you woke up, you smelled that coffee, you said, you know what, enough's enough. I got to do something because I don't like the way I'm feeling. I don't like the way that you're portraying things. I don't know. It's almost like this person said something. It was like, that's it. It's you. I don't think it was just like one day you were like, I don't know. I kind of think they put themselves in hot water. And they kind of like revealed their own self to you. You get what I'm saying? Like even still wearing a mask, you were able to see who they truly were. I don't know what it was, who it was, but at some time, they revealed something. All right. But this is your opportunity to begin fresh. This is your opportunity to create something new. All right. You had fresh start and you had creator right here. All right. So once again, whatever this situation was, this was here to help you. I know it could have hurt you. It could have set you back a few steps. All right. But at the same time, this situation happened because you were not, how can I say it? You weren't, I don't want to say you weren't doing what you were supposed to be doing, but you didn't realize the potential that you had. And maybe by you going through this, maybe you're aligned with something a bit more than you thought you had in the beginning. You know what I mean? Like maybe you're a very creative soul and you didn't even know you were creative. Maybe you're very innovative. You didn't know that you were very innovative. Maybe you're somebody that could actually manifest things. You can imaginate things and then actually bring them into life. But maybe you didn't know that until you went through this situation. Do you get my drift here? So I don't know. Use this as an eye opener, but don't use this as a crutch. Be mindful when it comes to checking in with new readers. Be mindful when it comes to checking in with new therapists, new people, whoever this is. Just be mindful. Looking underneath that, learner. All right. Whatever this was, you learned a life lesson that you'll never, ever, ever forget. And you also learned the life lesson that you'll be able to teach other people so that they're not caught up in the same drama. All right. All right. So that's your guided motivational message for the day. If you are feeling the vibes, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button so that you can always be notified of those future episodes. And always be sure to tune back in here with me later on so that you can get your daily dose of motivation. All right. In the meantime, between time, keep your eyes open. All right. Pay attention to the people, places, and things. All right. Pay attention to what triggers you, what doesn't. Pay attention to your body temperatures, your body language. Your body could be showing you signs about people that you don't even realize that it's showing you. Look at that guy. Yes, it could be guiding you to walk away from a specific person, place, or thing. So just make sure you're paying attention to your body, mind, and soul. And at the same time, don't allow people to take advantage of you. All right. And I know sometimes things like that can happen unknowingly. But in this situation, you know, I feel like there were, I don't know, you had little inklings, you had little signs. It could be, I don't know. You know what I mean? And you went against that. And now we're here. And that's okay, because like I said, for whatever reason, you were meant to go through this so that you can receive this fresh start. All right? All right. So you be sure to have an awesome day, and I will be sure to motivate you later.